What's up? It's Zach here for another episode of 321 Presents. Of course, along with me, I have my host, Nick.
Howdy, howdy.
And Nick, you would be surprised that I actually been doing some prepping for this episode.
Oh, boy.
But we will get to know more about that a little bit later here. First, let's just kind of go around the horn and talk about all the thing in the news, all our current events, media, TV, sports, all the good stuff.
Absolutely. Anywhere in particular you want to start us off?
Nope.
Well, then I have a book report about a movie I went to see this week that was in the box office charts recently. I went with Gramps to go see Send Help, directed by Sam Raimi, who most folks will know as the director of the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Whose decision was this? Was this a Gramps saying he wants to go see this movie and you taking him, or you also wanting to go see this movie?
Well, it was like I had seen just a little bit of a teaser for it, and it was a interesting enough premise that Gramps expressed interest in also seeing it, and I was like, well, great, we'll go on Discount Tuesday when the tickets are half price. So we went and did that. This is starring Rachel McAdams as a very neurotic and sort of a little bit over the top, but a very effective assistant in a corporate environment who is in line for a promotion when the company passes on to the son of the owner. He basically does not enjoy her presence and refuses to give her the promotion, but still tries to. This film is very comical and over the top with how it paints rich corporate folks. So they are real pieces of trash, real mustache twirlingly evil in this one. There is a lot of like camp and humor elements that I did not expect coming into this. So the premise is she gets denied for the job, but still asked to do the work for it, essentially. And when they are all on a airplane ride to Brazil to finalize some big merger, the plane goes down in the ocean, and wouldn't you know it, Rachel McAdams' character Linda Little just so happens to be an expert survivalist, and so when her boss is the only other survivor of the plane crash, they have to survive on a deserted island and see how that goes. And I won't spoils it all because it's a fun ride. It's maybe a little bit long. I think the middle could have tightened up just a little bit, but overall entertaining. I found the ending a very nice little cherry on top of how they closed it out there. So it was a fun ride.
What would you give it on your rating scale here?
Let's see. Since I have some other movie ratings we can talk about, we'll stick on a scale out of 10, and I'd give this one a solid 7.5.
Something you want to go see in movies or wait till it comes to streaming?
I think if this is your cup of tea, it's worth it to go see it on the big screen. Now, Sam Raimi, outside of the Spider-Man trilogy, also worked pretty famously on the what's his name? The Bruce Campbell zombie movies. So that's your, I think, Left 4 Dead. But so there is an extra element of body horror played for like over the top to where it's played for comedy, but there are a couple of bits in there where you're like, oh, and we're going.
I forgot where I was for a second.
Yeah,
I remember now.
Yeah. So that's very fun. Those would be your The Evil Dead's, Army of Darkness, etc., etc. So if you're into that flavor of movie, yeah, definitely worth a look. And like I said, very technically solid. It is mainly a character study on these two, the jilted secretary and the absolute worst human being corporate Nepo baby. And the overall thesis of the movie at the end turns out to be that monsters are made, not born.
Isn't that something Scooby-Doo teaches us?
Yeah, there's a lot of media trying to teach that lesson out there, and yeah, one more to add to the pile.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that was Send Help, which has, I think, been one of the few interesting things in the box office recently.
Yeah, it's very, very slim out there.
Today, as we are recording here on the 13th, is the release for GOAT, which we discussed a little bit last week, and the early reviews are promising. It's rocking a solid 6.8. We can round that up to a 7.
It's not bad. I mean, it's tough out here for the animations because you really only have the the big guys, which is really just Disney at this point, and occasionally Sony does throw like a good one out there for the people to gnaw on.
See, we could have this might be a main discussion topic for another time, but I think Disney's grip has fully slipped. We are no longer in a Pixar dominant era.
I don't know. It's just tough to get anyone into the box office to go see something that's not a Pixar, just because they have
And now that's an overall
the marketing
movie.
thing, the determination of what's a better movie. Up for debate.
I mean, we're just getting to that point where like the kids, what are we on past Gen Zs? Because Gen Zs are like college age now.
So you have your Zoomers, which are your college people now. Now it's alpha and betas.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Are they going to go Sigma after that?
Well, yeah, whatever the next in the Greek alphabet.
Chiron or something, I think. That's not as good. But anyway, yeah, those kids are getting to a point where like they don't have the nostalgia for the golden era of Pixar anymore. They are working with all of these like direct to streaming Pixar movies now and all the sequel era.
Well, some of the things that they get are not even like Pixar. There's just the cool little animations that your Netflixes and whatnot do on a budget or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Your Hulus.
Yeah, exactly. It's just there's a lot less. I think that's a thing too of this streaming era where it used to be like everyone could kind of talk about the movies that were out in theaters, but now like some people don't bother with those, and a lot of people wait till streaming. And then there's so much diversity in streaming that like it's very easy to be like, oh, hey, what are you watching? And get a reply that you have never heard of before.
Something out there wild.
And that's like a weird thing that we don't have the water cooler chat topics to share as much anymore.
No, you have your threads now, your Reddits, your Discords, wherever you and your community may lie.
Yeah, or you have to be making 3-hour-long video essays about them.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that was my movie news this week. I think that was all I had out of the screen.
For my media news, last week we've had a big release. One of my favorite artists, J. Cole, finally dropped his album, which has been very much wanted and almost a little bit needed, especially since he did not answer in the Kendrick and Drake battle. He said, I'm going to step aside and remove myself from this because I like you both and we're all going to be friends.
Oh, interesting.
And they said, no.
Yeah, neutrality is not an easy position to take
in
a
easy
rap
position
battle.
to go. And to be honest, when you hear about the big three, especially nowadays, as hip-hop has become the pop culture and whatnot, the big three, of course, are your Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. And they're each so different. Drake is, of course, your hits makers. Everyone's heard a song by Drake. He has possibly one of the biggest hit discographies there's ever been, besides, of course, Michael Jackson being the other name in that category. And then there's Kendrick, who is probably the best rapper of the group.
Just put up one of the most illustrious calendar years in rap history between Grammys, Super Bowl performance, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't even know if it's in rap history, probably in music history, essentially. The Super Bowl, you have your Grammys. My man won a rap battle, got to go display the rap battle at the Super Bowl, and I'm pretty sure also won Album of the Year at the Grammys, kind of sweeping every single category that he was possibly in.
Yeah, it was going to be hard to match.
Very much so. And then, of course, there's J. Cole, who kind of fits in a little bit between the two. He's probably the most artistic out of the bunch, to be honest. He's a little bit more thoughtful and creative with what he does. Not to say Kendrick and Drake are not, but J. Cole's on a whole nother level. My man, you can just find him riding around on a bike somewhere. That's just the kind of guy he is.
Sure.
But his new album did drop. I've listened to it probably 8 or 9 times now since it's been out. I do believe it came out last Friday, if I remember. Actually, no, that's a lie. Came out midnight of the Super Bowl, so last Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. So you are a strong portion of the listens on the Spotify.
One would think, but there's a lot of people out there streaming with me. I'll see where I'm at the end of the year with
on the Wrapped.
With the Wrapped. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
With that being said, let's learn about some sports. What's going on in the Winter Olympics? I have not been watching or paying attention at all.
Oh boy. Well, it's been fun. I also have not been keeping up with every single event. Of course, the biggest news that chronologically we need to discuss at the top here, right after we recorded last week's episode to talk about the competitive spirit of Lindsey Vonn, she did go ahead and really crashed quite badly out of the gate on her first attempt on Sunday morning. And that's probably going to be a wrap on Lindsey Vohn's skiing career, if not walking career.
Not ideal. Unfortunately, it was an injury. I don't know if a knee would have helped her or not, at least a stable knee.
That is the thing. Like, she did come out and say that, and she's like, my knee had nothing to do with it. I was 5 inches off my line, and that crash was going to happen whether my ACL was there or not.
But if you had an ACL, would you be on that line?
Would you have been, 5 inches off?
Devil's advocate here. But
absolutely.
It is unfortunate to see her go down, but again, let this be a lesson, and it's been something a lot of athletes have been trying. Just take the time, go recover. It's not worth the risk, for not only for the sport if you want to continue competing, but for longer injury prevention.
Yes, absolutely. That was in large part the refrain I saw as well, from the sports medicine community of like, this is, we don't want to see someone get injured, but for it to be as famous of a person as Lindsey Vonn, and to just have this like concrete example of you're just putting yourself in more danger by not letting your body heal.
It's not ideal. You never want to go from I might not ever ski again to walking may be a problem for me.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I think the technical report after all was said and done, it was a broken tibia, which is the lower bottom half of the leg, the long from your knee down to your ankle, a multiple fracture situation there that will require several different surgeries to reset completely. That on top of the, I think, multiple times torn ligaments. Lindsey's, thankfully going to have access to the best healthcare possible for the rest of her life, but she will be needing it. And that is an unfortunate way to end, but I think, everyone still saluted her, the spirit that took her to the top of that mountain to try for that run, and that was her sentiment in her post publicly afterwards, was like, hey, I was never not gonna do it.
Hey, go out how you want to go out.
That outside of that big kerfuffle to start the week, we've had, as we've said, curling all week. I'm not sure about medals getting awarded there just yet. I think we're still in the seating for most things there, but again, there are so many different brackets to keep track of. I have actually been keeping more track of like the little feel-good stories, and obviously the hockey tournament, where our women's tournament has been well underway for most of the events so far. The men have just started playing as of our recording time here on Friday. The Team USA women look to be the team to beat in this tournament, though, because they have put down a 5-0 smackdown on Canada in their first matchup.
The women are, as we know, especially from a lot of our PWHL coverage, the American women are not to be messed with.
No, absolutely. And also, as we know, largely get to play together in the PWHL as the Minnesota Frost. So their core is...
Some say that's cheating. Others say...
good roster management.
That's good roster management, yeah.
So the pretty well-oiled machine of Team USA hockey is looking mean out there on the ice. And unfortunately, Team Canada did lose Marie-Philippe Poulin in game number 2, I want to say. This is, for Team Canada, this year is, in both sides of the hockey program, very much a sort of passing of the torch year. We have both Sidney Crosby and Marie-Philippe Poulin, who are two of the only players who also played in the 2014 Olympics, where that was the last time we got to see NHL players. And wild to think that was 12 years ago.
That does not feel like that long ago.
The elder statesfolk of the Team Canada passing on the torch to the Connor McDavids and Macklin Celebrinis of the men's side, and the Sarah Filliers, and who else is over? Sarah Nurse is on Team Canada, Renata Fast, the next generation up that's going to come be the name brand come 4 years from now, essentially. Yeah, that is, I think, the biggest news. There have been a lot of feel-good stories. We mentioned Estonia got their first Olympic win. We have the Team Jamaica bobsled team out here competing once again. A Mexican cross-country skier plays dead last in the cross-country, but was greeted at the finish line by all of the medalists who She's basically like a doctor in Mexico who just liked to do cross country skiing, and she has to like she took a part-time job walking dogs to pay for her trips to ski resorts to do the thing she loves. And so she qualified for Mexico, and everyone else heard the story and was like, "You're crazy."
Does anyone around here ski? And there's one person in the back. I do.
See, yo.
Is there a doctor in the room as well? Same hand stays up.
Perfect.
All right, we have a job for you.
So yeah, those have been sort of the stories of the Olympics for me thus far, and largely also for our media coverage because, as I've noted to you earlier in the week, the Americans not dominating the medal table like we like to do at Olympic events.
We are not really good at like Winter Olympics. Us as American don't really like winter all that much, nor like we like to participate in some of the things like the skiing, some of the more luxury things out there to do, but not like some of these other countries that are just like born in the cold.
Speaking of, do you know who is on top of the medal table right now?
Right now, I don't think it's Canada because they've been kind of struggling with us a little bit. It's going to be something like the Czech or something like that.
No, in fact, our number one on the medal board right now with 8 gold medals, 3 silver, and 7 bronze would be Norway.
Yeah, one of the cold countries.
Tied right behind them with just a few less gold, but an equal number overall, is host country Italy. 6 gold, 3 silver, 9 bronze for them.
They've had a lot of time to prep for this. You don't want to go be the...
Don't tell that to the people who made the hockey rink.
Yeah.
How much time they had to prep.
The teams had time to prep, not the actual construction of it, but the teams.
Yeah, no, but for sure, you're definitely getting like all of the Team Italy athletes at these games. Like you have that home, like it's in our house. We have to represent.
Yeah, I prepped harder for this one than I've ever done in my life.
Mm-hmm. Team USA has actually climbed into the 3 spot, which is the best we've looked so far at these games. Now with 4 gold, 7 silver, 3 bronze, a total of 14. And we've got France, Germany, and Sweden right behind us. Surprisingly, Team Canada, no gold, 3 silver, 4 bronze for 7 medals total.
They're really banking on the hockey. I don't know if they've been good at anything else. Like they've been competitive, but not medaling quite yet.
Well, speaking of the Team USA, I think women's curling got their first ever victory against Canada earlier today. But yeah, it is you would think a country that had, I guess, yeah.
A very, very cold country.
Yeah, and certainly would have the ability to train the athletes for a lot of these events.
What happens when all you do is play hockey all day, Canadians.
And unfortunately, yeah, it's not guaranteed just yet that their hockey teams are going to win because Team USA looking pretty hot out there.
They play hockey and they play basketball. They play anything indoors, really now.
The lack of curling dominance is, I think, a bit of a surprise because that is the other sport I would put them on top of.
The Americans got real into curling. Like we have a couple rinks here that you can just go curl at, which is a weird and wild thing.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, the other Olympic topic this week that has kind of been discussed in the realm of figure skating, the Team USA figure, like one of the team events, was punctuated, our gold medal there, by a backflip.
That dude is psycho.
Yeah, by the quad god himself, Ilya something. But the controversy of that being that this is one of the first games where that move is not illegal. It had been forbidden by the IOC because it was so dangerous to attempt. Like you could really mess yourself up by not nailing it.
Yeah, there's nothing soft to land on there at all. Just hard, very hard, cold ice.
Ilya Malinin is our figure skater, the quad god. Yeah, he pulled off one of these. So yeah, the controversy being like it's a medal winning move now because I get the athletes are better. They've worked on it despite it being an illegal move, which is kind of funny, but clearly I guess that's where they want to evolve the routines and whatnot into. You can only spin yourself around so many times.
I'm so dizzy.
Let me do a flip.
They're like, that's fair enough. It's like the 3-point line.
And so I guess just a noteworthy evolution of the sport there, but was in fact the big thing that everyone wants to bring up is that it was done once before back in, I want to say 94 or 88 or something, by a black skater from Team France who she was like in 10th place or something, and had flubbed the beginning of her routine.
It's just like it just doesn't matter anymore.
She was having a rough go of it. She kind of thought that because like there was definitely a thing of like, because of the color of my skin, I'm getting lower scores. So I'll show the judges what I think of that. And yeah, once her main run was sort of like, I'm not gonna get my top points for this. Here's a big F you.
It's a crazy way to do it.
Absolutely. But it's one of those things, if you can do it, it's very impressive. So yeah, those are the hot topics of the Winter Olympics this year.
Thus far. For more sports, we have the round ball, of course, in the building, basketball. It is All-Star Weekend now that we have entered. Nuggets made it, not without some bumps and bruises and a little bit of a rough record, but we made it. Still in third place. San Antonio is becoming a little bit of a problem. Wemby had a game where he had like 35 and a quarter or something like that.
I told you the shaved head is too. You can't.
As soon as he goes monk mode, it's not good for anybody.
Exactly.
He means
he'll open his chakras, and then there's no stopping him.
He means business, and he is going to hurt you in a peaceful way.
Yes.
But that is some of the best news we could have hoped for in Denver. The big news in the NBA, number one, Chris Paul announced that he's retiring today.
Yeah.
Went to Toronto and said, I'm never going to play a game here. I'm just going to call it good after.
Oh, see, I read that they called him and said, don't bother reporting.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're like, don't worry, we're going to waive you. Don't even fly out.
It was a trade and wave, essentially, so that the Clippers can save some cap space on him.
Yeah.
Which... fair enough. A little dirty to do him that way, but
yeah, kind of a rough. I think that it was an ESPN article I read where they had to keep being like, despite the sour note of an ending to a otherwise incredible career, first ballot Hall of Famer. Boy, what a bad last season though.
It sucks when you come home to do something like to get the goodbye and.
Yeah, to think that you're getting like the nice emotional like back to where it all started.
Yeah, nope, it was not quite that. They're like, the hell you doing here? Whose house is this?
Only to find out that, yeah, you get the get out of here, old man treatment back in what used to be your old hang.
Yeah, pretty much. For the Nuggets, though, the other big news that possibly could happen is we have one more roster spot open, and everyone's trying to figure out who's going to do what in buyouts. So that'll be an interesting time. I really want Lonzo Ball. I think he fits nicely with our team. And ideally, we don't want to have someone who has maybe a little bit more of an injury history than we already kind of have listed on our...
We'd love some reliable, stalwarts, healthy folk.
Yeah, that'd be ideal. However, he is struggling a bit this season, and it's struggled... really ever since he had his surgery, his Landeskog surgery. Hasn't quite been...
sure.
Yeah, hasn't quite been the same and really hasn't
had...
Yeah,
bring him to town. Him and Landy can hang out.
We can rehab together.
Share rehab notes, all that. Yeah, and who doesn't get better playing with Jokic a little bit?
A little bit, and he's not going to ask to do a ton. And the thing we'd ask him to do is come be on our second line where we already have Tim Hardaway, Bruce Browns, whoever else there might be out there, Spencer Jones or a P-Watt or a CB out there with you. Nothing but wins.
You got supporting cast.
Yeah, all you need to do is defend, go get assists, and occasionally hit a bucket when we need you to. When you're wide open. That's it. That's all we're going to ask for. And I think I'm down for that.
For sure. Yeah. Let's see if it's a 2-man GM ship now over there, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know who
co-GMs.
One of them's supposed to be running like the business operations, and the other one's supposed to be running like the roster things that happen, like all the scouting and finding free agents. But I don't know. They'll figure it out. I just want to let them know that I want Lonzo Ball real bad.
Okay,
Please do.
Yeah. Oh, while we're still in sports news, do you have more basketball?
The other one is the Unrivaled League, also on All-Star break, having their 1v1 tournament.
Oh, yes. That's always a very entertaining. They are not going soft on their All-Star events in the Unrivaled. They want that cash prize.
Everyone, I mean, it's a good little cash prize.
Yeah. And bragging rights, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. Unfortunately, the NBA has not learned quite yet. Jamal Murray is going to participate in the 3-point competition, so that's exciting.
Hey.
Yeah. But unfortunately, by the time this podcast is released, the 1v1 tournament will be over, and there will be a victor crowned, and we'll find out who that is Monday. Or actually, it happens Saturday, but
yeah,
you'll learn next week.
I was going to say we do also have to mention that between the two of us, we did nearly predict the Super Bowl score exactly.
I was so close.
Your first guess was 28-13 when the final was 29-13, and then you did give the Patriots an extra.
I thought
3
they were going to
point.
score like an extra field goal there just to kind of make it a little interesting.
I had the 29 and I said 17, and we got real close there at the end. Although that last touchdown did hurt my, I had several different bets on I had the 9 and the 7 square, which would have hit a lot better than, I still got a little nice payoff for calling the 29.
It's a horrendous football game I've ever seen.
It was absolutely, it was 3 quarters of absolute garbage, and then they remembered to make it entertaining for the fourth quarter.
This has never been such a, there was football during my Bad Bunny concert.
I mean, I called it for sure.
Yeah, but I didn't expect it to be quite that bad. I was expecting like it was a little bit of a shootout-ish until it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of why on paper, the Seahawks-Patriots matchup was not that exciting. There was the potential for it to be a blowout, I feel like, early on, but give the Patriots defense some credit for stifling the Seahawks kind of enough. And Drake May having just a pretty bad, rough day at the office for 50 minutes of the 60-minute game. We were so close with our prophecy.
I believed.
And then one other little note I had in the sports world. I don't know if you remember our story about the 2 Cleveland Guardians pitchers who got arrested by the FBI mid-season.
For the ones that were potentially involved in the gambling scandals that's been going throughout many of the leagues.
Yeah. We've got some more details. Emmanuel Clase's cooked.
That's not what you want to hear.
And the other guy, Ortiz, is trying to get himself a different trial. He's like, I'm an innocent victim in all this. I was lied to, and I am not the same level of criminal conspirator as this man. And so basically the prosecutors have come forward and like, so they were trying to text each other in code for what the pitches and stuff that were going to be that they were supposed to bet on. Hard to you're a mystery man.
I love me a good mystery.
Who could ever decipher such a mysterious code as throw a rock at the first rooster in today's fight?
What? I mean, that just means ping whoever the first batter is. If I'm a betting guy.
Yep, that's 100% what it meant. Where's the other one here? They're so bad. Oh, one of the texts they pulled, chicken number 3, after I kill the first 2, play the 3, and if I can't kill it, don't play it. I have to kill the first 2. So that's the sort of the very obvious paper trail that these masterminds have left behind in their scheme to win $450,000 is like the allegation for what they've come away with, which is such an insignificant amount compared to a major league pitcher's contract.
Well, that is highly unfortunate and also trash code, my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. The funny thing, too, is that apparently Emmanuel Clase does have a record in the Dominican Republic of being involved in rooster fighting as well.
That is not ideal for him.
So I can see where his thing was like, I know exactly what we're going to use for code words, my guy.
Idiot.
Yeah, so that's how that case is going, and I feel bad because he's going away for a long time, probably.
Well, that's highly unfortunate.
Yeah, and that was everything I could remember to cover from sports this week.
Good. Any other topics you want to cover?
I don't know how much we want to talk about. Have you seen that Overwatch has abandoned the Overwatch 2 experiment, and they've dropped the 2, and it's just called Overwatch again?
I have not.
This is for the old heads from back in the day who were on the Overwatch train. Yeah, it's just called Overwatch again, and earlier this week on Tuesday in the new patch, they dropped 5 new characters all at once.
That's crazy.
It is basically a big open invitation to anyone who has been like sitting out and being like, oh, I don't know all the new characters that have been added. And they're like, hey, guess what? No one knows what any of the characters are or the meta is now.
Please,
hop back into the
come
chaos.
Back.
Yeah. And it worked perfectly. They had literally their highest concurrent player weekend of the entire game's life cycle.
Good for them.
Which is crazy.
I don't know if I've ever been tempted to go back to Overwatch. I'm not a psycho like some people around here. I have been tempted to go back to Marvel Rivals before I even touch an Overwatch again.
Yeah, Rivals has also been doing some interesting things. There are several seasons in now that I have not kept up with all the new characters that have been getting added on a regular basis there. But yeah, that's kind of the big one. And then little note for my other Ghost of Yotei heads who have been keeping up the good fight. We're getting a little bit more DLC. Ghost of Yotei Legends is going to be free. It's an online co-op multiplayer mode where you fight kind of Souls-like-ified versions of the big bosses from the game.
Even harder mode, game plus.
Yep, basically, which is not particularly my flavor of the game, but I am appreciative of the extra content.
I'm sure your old man bones are going to love it.
Yo, I'm still trying to claw my way through the New Game Plus difficulty.
You get all this.
I have to go. Well, I have all my techniques still, but I still have to go. There's like story missions to unlock the weapons, and we're not kidding when it's even for my little baby difficulty level, they're like the New Game Plus will be a little harder.
Hey, don't forget.
Yeah. So those were my minor gaming notes.
Good. Now, what have I been up to this week prepping for this episode? I decided that we are going to have a little fun here, and I think during one of the episodes I said I'm the game master.
I do believe so, yeah.
Here for fun and games, and wouldn't you know it, I have a couple games we get to play today.
Oh boy, now I know what Brennan Lee Mulligan feels like when Sam Reich Game Changers.
Oh, this is going to be a very exciting one because we have some categories for you, of course.
Categories
you get to pick from and to choose how this, at least which order we get to play the games.
I get to pick my own poison.
A little bit, yes.
Fantastic.
We have, of course, sports.
Mm-hmm.
What a shock here. We have movies and TV.
Mm-hmm.
We have speech and debate.
Oh boy.
And of course, since it's Valentine's Day, something very close to your heart. Food.
Oh, delightful. Let's start with food. You've whet my appetite already.
Absolutely. As anyone on this podcast or listening to this podcast should know, you are an avid lover of food and all the fine things that come with food and experimenting with food and all the food things that could possibly be.
Food is tasty, and everyone has come up with some very inventive ways to do it, and they keep coming up with more fun ways to do it.
And oddly enough, it's like one of your favorite mechanics in any game you ever play. For some reason.
I like to be able to, do cooking, but it's very tricky for games to get it right.
That's fair. So for this food game, of course, we are going to do a blind ranking. But how are we going to blind rank and what are we going to blind rank? We're going to blind rank some spices. I know you're a spice guy, so you get to blind rank these spices 1 through 5. Just a quick little ranking here, and we can put them however you want.
Okay.
Are you ready to go, sir?
I'm ready to rank some spices.
And we'll figure out if you know some of these spices. I assume you know lots because you've used so many goddamn spices.
I'm aware of a lot of them, but there's a wide world out there.
Yes, to my old folks' chagrin, unfortunately. For better or worse.
Indeed.
The first spice you get to rank 1 through 5 is sumac.
Ooh, sumac is a Middle Eastern one, I believe.
It is.
Yeah, so not in our usual flavor palette over here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say 4 and see if I don't regret leaving some room at the bottom there.
Fair enough. Coming up after sumac is cardamom.
Ooh, cardamom, nice. A lovely warm spice to go with your cinnamons and your cloves and such. Cardamon's a solid 3.
Interesting. Also, I don't know much about spices. I've learned a lot more about researching this.
Yeah. There's a whole thing that's very tied to colonialism. The only reason Western food flavor has any flavor at all is because they've stolen it from Asia and India.
Salt and pepper, baby.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. After cardamom, I think is going to be one of people's favorite. We have a smoked paprika.
Ooh, a smoked paprika is very good. This is the 3rd out of 5.
Yep, you have 3 and 4 taken. You have 5, 1 and 2.
Okay, smoked paprika is very good, and it's almost never a bad idea to add into a savory dish. But will there be one I like more than that in these last 2? That is the question. I'm going to leave, again, room in my heart for the potential of my favorite, or one of my more favorite spices to be there. So we'll put the smoked paprika at 2.
2 sounds good. Coriander. How do we feel about coriander?
Ooh, a coriander is nice. Of course, being the seed of the cilantro plant.
For the culture?
Yeah, absolutely. It comes in the seeds. You grind it up. It gives a nice little, it's very bright, very fresh. It can't go in the 5 spot. Am I allowed to rearrange them now?
You are not. That's part of the blind ranking.
Yeah, that's
part of the blind ranking system.
Well,
Well, 5 or 1, what do you want?
I'm gonna play the odds that it's gonna keep getting better at the end here. So unfortunately, coriander does have to slot into the 5 spot.
And your number 1 spice, saffron.
Hey, that's not a bad choice. Flavor-wise, it's very subtle, but it is one of the most expensive spices in the world. So
It
I'm getting
really
my bang
is.
for my buck there.
For sure.
They have to be hand harvested out of delicate little flowers that only grow like a certain time of year in one certain like
A certain area on a
region.
mystical mountain that one dude can pick
Mhm.
with his friend goat or something like
They
that.
have to be kissed by butterfly whispers first before they're ready to go.
Insanity. If you were to go back on this list, how would you rank them knowing all these spices now?
And this is actually a pretty darn good list of flavor profiles here. I do think sumac would probably slot down to the 5 spot just because it's the one I'm least familiar with. Coriander, I think, probably bumps up to 3, and then that moves. What were my 3 and 4 down? Or no, my 2 and 3 down.
Smoked paprika and coriander. Or smoked paprika and saffron were your 1 and 2.
Those are correct. And then we just bumped sumac down, and then that's the list.
Cardamom was the 3.
Yeah. And then again, I'm sure it would almost go in like inverse proportion from someone from like the other side of the world who uses sumac more regularly.
How would you classify your style of cooking actually? You have a lot of different sort of influences.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is, I would say Food Network inspired is a good way to think of it because it's through the lens of like, I like to take in the techniques and stuff from a lot of different cultures. So I've learned a lot of stuff from like different Asian countries. I have a lot of Gordon Ramsay and Alton Brown knowledge in my cooking profile. So fairly mixed, but pretty Asian heavy leaning. A lot of ginger and garlic base for most things.
I was about to say, have you ever made a dish where it did not include ginger or garlic?
The ginger I don't get to do as often as I would choose to, but no. Once you know about how good garlic is, there's no reason to not use it.
All right, that'll take us out of the food category. You have media, speech and debate, or sports left.
Let's get speech and debate out of the way because I'm not sure what I'm walking into with that.
Excellent. Speech and debate. Of course, we got to make it related to our podcast, which is media and TV. Today's topic is going to be streaming platforms have improved entertainment more than they have been harmful.
Oh, do I have to go the pro or the con?
That's up to you. I'll let you choose on that one.
That streaming has been more beneficial than harmful.
Yep.
I'll take the pro side.
Alrighty. I will take the con side as a natural devil advocate
Yeah,
myself.
of course. Absolutely. On the pro side of streamers, I will say that the decentralization of the means of production, basically, the fact that basically there are multiple avenues now for content to be distributed has allowed more content to come out, whether that be in such a big wide release as most people think of. It depends on the streamer, but it is good for there to be more avenues for more content to come out. That means more projects can be made, more actors and filmmakers and whatnot have jobs, more screenwriters, more animators. It just allows for more work to be done, and that is an overall net positive.
On the negative side, right, we've kind of talked about it a little bit. Streamers are not great for the actual artists themselves for the most part, unless you get one of the really good Netflix deals or Spotify podcast deals where you're getting paid like no other. Very few and far between do you have the option to make good money out there. So unfortunately, unlike how things used to be, there's not quite the same royalty attached to those guys. On top of that, with so many streamers out there, now I have to figure out a way to distribute my content out to all of these guys and potentially choosing one or the other, unfortunately, like we do on potentially this podcast.
Yeah, for sure. There are issues with exclusivity and whether or not you are trying to play the whole wide open market. Sometimes, because of I would say it's a net democratization of the content, some streamers can choose to have antagonistic relationships with their creators and whatnot, but some can choose to be good, like Dropout, and actually...
They need to start paying you for all these advertisements.
I would sure love that. Sam, if you want to, make this an official thing back and forth.
We're going to have to go do some improv classes and work our way into a Dropout episode or something.
Hey, we can only hope. I always remember that Alan Rickman didn't get his acting break until his mid-30s too, so it can happen.
Interesting that you chose mid-30s for...
His was 35. I've passed that landmark just a little bit, okay?
Sure.
We're going to keep... This was going to be cool about it, all right? Mid-30s.
Sounds good.
Yeah, some streamers, not all streamers are bad.
Fair enough.
Not all streamers, okay?
Fair enough. I think we'll wrap up the speech and debate portion. Kind of got our
nailed it.
All we've learned is that we need to go apparently do some improv classes and find our way and make our way to Dropout.
Yes, and please give us a one-word prompt.
It's almost what we do around here.
Save the cat, hang a lantern on it. These are all important things to know about improv.
We know which one of us was the theater kid here.
Absolutely. You got to learn how to play Zip Zap Zop.
Is that where you're doing like the motions or whatever?
No, it's kind of like what's the other one where two people, there's like a word that you're trying to get both people to get to, but you can't say that word, and you have to kind of like bracket it until you close up on it. Zip Zap Zop is in that formula where it's one person says zip, the other says zap, the third person says zop. You're trying to like build a pattern on the fly.
Fair enough.
It's an improv skill.
We like a good pattern around here. And the last two categories we have, of course, are sports and movies and TV.
Let's go sports so we can close out on movies and TV.
Excellent. I think it's a good choice. In the sports category, I decided that we need to do a little hockey fantasy draft here.
Oh, boy.
The rules of this draft are you are going to get 7 players. You get 6 skaters and 1 goalie. 2 of which have to be defenders because
I got to field
obviously you got to field a whole team out there, and you get 1 extra skater. Could be a defender, could be whoever else you want to be.
A full starting lineup and 1 reserve.
Yes, and like many artists on this one, you get to take on your nemesis AI here.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I've already set up the full thing over here because I've been prepping. I'm ready.
You're prepared. Very good.
And AI has determined that you get the first pick on this one.
And we're current NHL players all time?
We'll do current NHL players.
Okay, fantastic. Nathan McKinnon is my number 1 overall pick.
Well, let me tell you about my shock.
Yeah, I mean, they could have gone Cale Makar.
It's I think you're missing a guy here.
Oh, no. I don't need Connor McDavid.
Who is exactly who our AI friend has taken.
Which I anticipated 100% there.
But remember, we are snaking.
Oh, we're snaking. So who do they? Snaking. Okay, so who do they have in their number 2? Did they take Cale?
They did take Cale Makar,
which is the correct choice and was going to be my snipe there. Then with my second pick, we'll go ahead and take Connor Hellebuck and lock down goaltending.
That is something where we do not have very much of anymore. It feels like.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take Connor Hellebuck, who has been the number 1 goaltender in like the last 5-year span or whatever. As my number 2. And so then I get number 5 as well, huh? And I will get a defenseman. But the best one in the world's already taken. Darn. Let's go. I guess I'll take Quinn Hughes. I don't think he's quite right there at the number 2, but it's certainly not Adam Fox. And
so much hate.
Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot of guys around the league who are like, oh yeah, the next better than Cale Makar, some might say. And we know if you're wrong.
We know how much that upsets you.
Just a little. Okay, so then that goes back to our AI.
It does indeed. And you'd be shocked to know that they took Austin Matthews.
Okay, yeah, goal scoring. I can see that. So I'm up against Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, Austin Matthews so far. Okay. Do they get the next pick, though?
They do. They're going to take Kucherov.
Nikita Kucherov, sure. That's a good choice. You know what? I'll go ahead and put on my wing for Nathan MacKinnon. I'll go ahead and take Mikko Rantanen.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he's... Oh, no. Okay. No, and because it's a snake draft and I can take my other winger right now, I'll go ahead and take Leon Draisaitl away from the AI team.
Fair enough.
So that's my forward line, MacKinnon, Rantanen, and Draisaitl. And we've got... Who did I say? Quinn Hughes on the back line with Hellebuck in the back, and the AI still does not have a goalie.
No, because the AI was not banking on taking. Well, there are certain people that you have to take early, but
Sure.
the AI was questioning your goaltender pick at 2.
Sure. I mean, hey, this is why you can't replace the oddities of a human brain. So who do we got coming from that AI team next? And I'll ponder who my last defenseman and who my backup's going to be.
Pasternak. David Pasternak. So
Pasta. Going with that's a little bit of an old man pick there. That's fine though. Now that's their forward line of McDavid, Matthews, and Pasta. Okay.
With MacKinnon, or not MacKinnon, Makar in the back.
Yep. And then who are they going to take in their next pick?
They are going to take Adam Fox.
They're going to take Adam Fox. Okay. Damn. Makar and Fox on the back end there. That's wild. I think for my last D-man, it is my turn now, right?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and take Miro Heiskanen. We'll give Rance his fellow Finn and hope that they have some good chemistry as well.
All these names. We need to stop taking the people from the European countries.
Uh-oh.
Whatever happened to a good old John Smith and...
We didn't even talk about that the Canadian wet dream of a goal by Nathan MacKinnon assisted by Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby actually happened in the first game. Yeah, that's one for the history books right there. And Brock Nelson also had a 2-goal game for Team USA. And that's a good old-fashioned American name right there, Brock Nelson.
It feels very, very American.
Is it my pick still? For last, I think I'm down to just my reserve skater.
Yep.
And for my reserve skater, I'll take Sydney.
Fair enough. The AI did take Brady as their reserve skater because they need an American that can fight.
Sure.
And in goal, they're going to, of course, they had Vasilevsky.
Yeah, it's hard with not taking 2 goalies so that we can thin the field a little bit, but oh well.
That's all right. How do you think you did?
I think like if we're just going by raw fantasy points, the AI did probably take like the higher, point producers, but I think if we were actually fielding these lineups out there, I'm very confident in the rotation I've put together. Cuz I mean, we already know Nate and Mikko work. Who did I have as their line mate? Who did I said
Leon. You have Leon.
Oh yeah, I stole Draisaitl. That's I mean Draisaitl, MacKinnon, Mikko, that's 3 different guys who could easily put up 50 goals in a season for sure. And also this is like, is it one game? Is it a season of fantasy points? What are we doing here?
That's
Career.
It's a fair question.
Career, I think Sydney gets me a long way there on the bench.
Yeah, I think the one of the guys who you could probably retire and just throw in the Hall of Fame. I think he gets you there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, our last categories is movies and media to wrap up our fun little games here that I have concocted for you.
Fantastic.
Of course, we here love to take in all the sorts of movies. So I decided that we're going to kind of fuse two categories together. And I have bad movie descriptions, but you also get 20 questions as well. We'll do
okay.
point off per question.
Trying to figure out the bad movie based on the description, and I get some clarifiers.
Yeah, you get to ask some yes or no questions, of course, just to make sure we all get there. We understand what movie it is.
Okay.
And out of 100 points possible, point off per question.
Okay, interesting. Well, all right, and how many movies do we have?
We have 5 movies.
Wonderful.
So let's give her a go and let's see how we do here.
Okay.
The first bad movie description is, and some of these are easy, some of them are more difficult.
Sure.
Number 1 is group spends 9 hours returning jewelry.
Group spends 9 hours returning jewelry. Is this a sequel?
No.
Group spends 9 hours returning jewelry. Is this pre-2000?
No.
Okay. My first thought was like an Ocean's 11, but I don't think those are considered bad movies.
No. It's a bad movie description. The movie's not bad, to clarify.
Okay. I see. Okay. I'm okay. Following along. Group doesn't returning. This, I think now that you've said it's not bad movie and I can open my broader lane, I think I actually remember catching this one before. This is Lord of the Rings.
It is Lord of the Rings.
Yes. A group of 9 returning jewelry to Mount Doom.
Takes 9 hours to return the jewelry.
Yep. I mean, it's 14 months in the book, so.
That is a very long walk.
Indeed.
The next one we have, of course, you get 18 points there. You asked a couple questions, but
Yep.
we know what we're doing here now.
Okay.
Not bad start.
Yeah, we're going to blaze through them now.
Now we are. Yep. The brain's open. It's unlocked. We're using full potential now.
Yep.
Next one here we have kid comes out of the closet.
Okay, now knowing the genre of the game we're playing, is this Monsters Inc.?
It is not.
Okay,
That fits very well.
It
But
could fit. Kid comes out of the closet. Is this E.T.?
it is not E.T.
Okay. Oh, is this Harry Potter?
Nope.
Another closet. I think that could have.
I don't know if he sleeps.
He lives in the
in
little,
like the little
the cabinet under the stairs.
the little coat closet.
Is this animated?
No.
Okay. Is this pre-2000?
No.
Okay. Also, that's good to just wipe a whole bunch of classics out of the way and get my thinking more modern. Not animated. Pre-2000 or not post-2000. That's how you say that.
I kind of like this game.
This is a good one. Kid comes out of the. Is this The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Yes. Yes, it is Chronicles of Narnia.
Okay. Very good. We finally found the correct movie closet.
You are right. I think Monsters Inc. is also very fitting for this, but of course they have the wardrobe.
Yeah, we could add some specifiers or some more phrasing around what type of closet or whatnot if we wanted to really make it specific. But yeah. I'm with you there.
Fair enough.
I think that was like 3 or 4.
There's 5 questions actually.
Yeah.
So we got 15 points out of there.
Okay.
We're not doing too bad. That's 75% on that question. Next one we have Talking Frog convinces son to kill his dad.
Talking Frog convinces son to kill his dad. Of course. That one, that classic Talking Frog? Oh, nope, I'm right there. That's Star Wars, baby.
Which one?
That's Empire Strikes Back.
100%.
Okay.
Full 20 points. Full marks there.
Very good. Talking Frog. How disrespectful.
I mean, the man lives in a swamp.
He does live in a swamp. That does not mean he's amphibious.
No, not usually. Next one we have, what's the word for the
Penultimate?
Yeah, the penultimate one. Older sister ruins younger sister's chance to appear on TV.
Older sister. Oh, this is The Hunger Games.
100% The Hunger Games. Full marks there as well.
Yep. Classic. I volunteer.
I do like that. That's a pretty.
That's the takeaway. Yeah.
She does appear on TV a lot, to be fair.
It does. Yeah, she really does get all that media glam, but her sister would definitely have, like, that's not even a good what if. The sister would have gotten toast. It would have been one of the first knocked out in the 74th Hunger Games.
Depends on how cute you are.
No, I mean, a little bit. I just think she was kind of a dummy. Did not have the wherewithal.
Because they were like, Rue was super young.
Rue had the cuteness factor, but she had a little bit of survival. She knew some, go and hide mentality. Katniss's younger sister, who definitely did have a name that I don't remember.
That's because she wasn't on TV.
No, she appears again at the end.
She does. She appears a couple times, I think. In the second book and a little bit in the last
Bigger part in the last book, and that's kind of a big spoiler.
Yeah. Spoilers.
All
And
right, one more. Sagatumi.
Our
We're going to finish
final
strong
one.
here.
Guy lets his planet get destroyed because he does not want his sister there.
Guy lets his planet get destroyed because he does not want his sister there. That is Thor Ragnarok.
100%. We are full marks for the last three.
Bingo bongo, baby. That's still 90 or something.
You got a 95 out of 100. I lied. 93,
93, I
93,
think.
yeah. 93 out of 100.
That's still an A.
That's a very good A.
Unless you're my old Catholic elementary school where our cutoff for A's was 93 and that was a B+.
That's not how.
That was the why. So you have no idea how weird it was when I got to high school level and found out that my entire grading scale had been skewed up the whole time. We're like, what do you mean an 80 is still a B? That was a C+ back in my day.
No.
That's how Catholic school teaches you how to be better.
Let me tell you about engineering college when an A becomes a 60% on a
on the
test.
curve.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep. That's fine. We let these people build planes now and stuff and other things. That's fine. We're good.
Wonderful.
That is all the fun and games that I had for you.
Well, that was great. That was a good time, especially because I finished on a hot streak there.
You did. I was a little worried there for you in the beginning, but all my worry cleared after.
Yeah, we got there.
After the fog lifted.
Indeed. You just got to give us old folks a minute or two to catch up.
Yeah, the ones in their mid-30s.
I'm at the delightful age where I can play it both ways.
Fair enough.
And you got to take advantage.
Sure, buddy. With that said, take us out.
Absolutely. Thank you once again for hanging out with us for an episode of 321 Presents. We would love to hear your comments. If what was your favorite game that our game master broke out for you today? What are your favorite feel-good Olympic moments that we've been catching here over the last couple weeks? Have a conversation with us, folks. Let us know what you're thinking. You can put that on the YouTube videos. You can put that on the Spotify episode pages. And you can also do that on our website where you can get all those episodes and more at 321pods.com. By the time you're listening to this episode, there is also going to be a second episode of 26 for 26 out for the February 14th. Even though it's Valentine's Day, our topic for 26 for 26 is the movie classic Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi.
Who wouldn't want to go see Dracula for Valentine's Day?
I mean, hey, I'll tell you what, this 1931 one, in the public domain, you can go just stream that baby for free off the Internet Archive. B, hilarious watch. I was busting up at this bad boy.
Are you sure this is not where Abbott and Costello pops up?
And that would not be for another 17 years, and would also be the only other time Bela Lugosi reprised his role as Dracula.
Does he actually?
Yeah.
Really?
17 years later.
I did not know.
Yeah, it's a fun little tidbit. And you can find out more fun tidbits about this classic vampire movie that kind of set the stage for all the vampires we know and love today on 26 for 26, which is a little podcast I'm doing. Has its own feed and everything. Search up 26 for 26 on Spotify. And it'd be doing your old pal Nick here a big favor. And that is everything for us here at 321 Pods. Thank you to our game master, Zach, for hosting us this week. And I have been your co-host, Nick, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Adios.